Jacqueline is doing wardrobe today, so thanks on this one. Looks like a canary, but you won't get hit by a car. First time I was in Boulder and took a hike up by Chautauqua Park and sat on a rock. I was depressed. I was in a depression, and I thought I would exercise my way out of it and join the track team and a lot of grand illusions. I did make it through the year though and got good grades. But I was sitting up on a rock, and all of a sudden this strange giant grasshopper type thing started circling me. And hummingbirds are everywhere, almost, but I've never seen one before, so I was totally baffled at its ability to stand still in the air while it was flapping its wings, and it's just checking me out. And it was a phenomenal memory. I thought it was just a touch from God. And I've heard about hummingbirds actually flying into churches and just hanging out when people are deep into the Spirit or deep into God. And this was my first hummingbird. I did go to Boulder my second year and had a roommate from Vietnam. You know, this goes all the way back to '79, so it's only 6-7 years after the Vietnam War. And his father was an officer. He was killed in battle, and he was kind of a real mentally ill type person, and he was very, very tough to live with. We ended up in fisticuffs, and it just pounded him. I was just so much frustration and aggravation and talking about my mother, and he was crazy. But I never wanted to be the crazy uncle, and the one who lived in the small apartment, dingy, dark, filthy, and the one who bent over and their butt crack showed and they didn't even realize it, or the one who always kind of smelled or groomed or couldn't quite get the buttons right on their shirt, or the one who you couldn't understand and you couldn't relate to at all. And fortunately, I I don't have a lot of competition, but I am the crazy uncle, and I love my nieces dearly. I haven't had a lot of time to spend with people other than Kira, Maya, and Marin, my brother Matt's daughters, who are right out here, and that's sad. But when we do get together, I think of that thought, and just over Christmas time, I bent over, and sure enough, there was a tidy whities all the way up to my navel. And I started out with no underwear at all. I usually go commando to sleep, which is a problem if you shit yourself. So I went and stole my brother's best underwear that he had in his room and put those on. And still they were that far. And I wasn't trying to do the sag and bag, I wasn't. But in my brother's room, it's kind of like C.S. Lewis's closet to Narnia. There are so many clothes, nice, expensive clothes that he has to wear for work, many of them with the price tag still on them. And there's been more than once when I've come home with something that I know he hasn't missed. But shirts, pants, wool, 100% wool, suits, jackets, everything. And he never used to dress like that. He used back in Boulder, we were in Boulder at the same time. Oddly enough, I was in Boulder at the same time that Poetess was. So we're trying to figure out if years ago we crossed each other's paths and how we would have liked each other at that stage. And she wouldn't have liked me at all. She liked Norwegian cross-country skiers at that time. So I was out of luck. But the clothing that my brother wears is a phenomenal change. And his wife, who predominantly goes to thrift shops like I do, unless someone gives me something, just shakes her head when I talk about it. It's a transformation into be heavily into clothes. So this is a shout out to being the crazy uncle and being well dressed by clothes stolen from my brother.